viewers, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. How y'all doing? Y'all know we gotta get our greetings out of the way first. I gotta make sure I do that. I gotta make sure I check up on y'all, make sure y'all all right and everything cool. Everything cool with y'all? Is y'all cool? Y'all all right? Okay, now, but y'all let me know in the comments what's going on. You know, what y'all up to, what you're watching, how you going to the theater. Did you go to the theater over the weekend? I know I asked y'all yesterday, but, you know, I got to remind y'all because y'all know how y'all be acting sometimes. But yeah, as for me, I am doing amazing. Excited to spend this time with y'all to get into all of this stuff that we love to talk about. We love to chat here, movies, television shows, all that good stuff, characters and everything. Yeah, so I'm just excited, very, very happy to spend this time with y'all, to get up on here because God knows, He really does know. It be taking a lot sometimes. Like I'm for real when I tell y'all this. I be watching a lot more than what I be sharing on here, and it's just because I just need I need to get on here more. I really need to do that, and sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like doing that right now. I just want to lay down. I just want to read. I just want to do this. I just want to do that. But I'm working on it. I really am. Like this film we're going to get into today. Let's go ahead and get a time special feature today, which is titled MUFASA The Lion King. Y'all know this was in theaters a couple of months back. Well, a few months back. And I did not get to watch it in the theater. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I should have been better about that. But I didn't. But you can find it streaming right now on Disney Plus, and that's where I did watch it. I was like, I really need to look at this because I did a movie trailer reaction to this thing. Y'all know Angel was here and everything. And we had a good time. Angel, y'all know Angel, my cat, and everything, grew up on this channel. Y'all saw her since she was a baby, you know, like, yeah, 12 years old. All the way up until now, Angel been a part of this, okay? I'm probably going to have a clip somewhere in here just to remind y'all because y'all know Angel my girl, and she y'all girl too. And have a clip in here just to put her in here, but y'all see her on the thumbnail. I had to have her on the thumbnail because she was with us during that movie trailer reaction, being her cute, adorable self, but yes. Let's go ahead and let me tell y'all what this film is about. Lost and alone, orphan cub MUFASA meets a sympathetic lion named Taka, the heir to a royal bloodline. The chance meeting sets in motion an expansive journey of an extraordinary group of misfits searching for their destinies. Now, baby watchers out there, I was in tears. I really was. It was so many different moments in this film that the tears came. They did. Y'all know I be sensitive and stuff. And so it just shows how much, like, how attached you're going to be to these characters here. We all love, from the original Lion King, MUFASA was a beloved character. Like, he really was. And of course, Simba and everybody that followed. But it was so cool. This film takes us into a deep dive into Simba legacy, like where his family came from, and this story kind of focuses on MUFASA. And y'all know the original Lion King, we don't really know much about MUFASA. It kind of more focused on Simba's story and everything like that, which was amazing. I'm sure like y'all probably feel the same way. Nothing would really top that. But it's so cool that I love that they are kind of opening up that world a little bit more, opening up this universe of the Lion King where they can technically do that. Because y'all know we be nosing everything. We be wanting to know what's going on, like what happened, how did these characters came to be. And here we get to see how Scar came to be. Because y'all know like every villain is like, they usually have some kind of origin story. And although when we meet them in their villainhood, okay, we don't really too much care for them. Like somebody asks us, do we really want to know about your story, a villain story? We're probably like, oh, no, thank you. You're just evil, okay? Nobody cares. There's no excuse for being that evil. But when you meet them in a state where they wasn't really that, and we get to see what happened, you find yourself a little bit more sympathetic, more empathetic. But it does lay out, and I love that the story does do that, y'all. It does lay out that foundation of that whole good versus evil, and at the end of the day, we all have a choice, okay? So it's like really no excuse. God gave us all that free will, and we can technically, I mean, people look at good people or good characters as if the red carpet was laid out for them, like they just had the most amazing life. That's why they're so blessed, they're so good. But give them like the short end of the stick per se, and watched they would be just as evil as these other villains who became villains. And we see in this story that is not true. To see how from the original Lion King, how wonderful Mufasa was, such a good dad and everything, and just had that protective spirit about him, wise beyond his years, just a wonderful beloved character. And we see his where his story originated from. It's like he had every opportunity to be even worse than his brother Scar here. And it's just amazing to see. And it just remind me, like, wow, like we all have that opportunity. We can really, it doesn't matter what your beginnings are like, you can truly change your destiny for the better. Like, you just have to make that choice. And I just love here when we're introduced to Simba. Y'all know we love Simba, right? Well, we have Simba here, and we have Nala, his beloved wife, and everything. And they had a little girl. Her name is Kiara. And so at the beginning of this film, like, Simba and his wife, they go away or whatever. We don't know the reason why, but he leaves his daughter in good care, good company. And here, like, her babysitters end up telling her a story because a storm is happening, all the rain, the thunder, and different things like that. And she's a little bit frightened. And so they end up telling her a story about her grandfather, whose name is Mufasa. And so it's amazing that we go back in time right here. We meet Mufasa as a little cub here, and see, like, wow, Mufasa did not have it easy from the very beginning. He really did not. And I'm just like, wow. And to see, it was just something about him. He had a spirit in him, a courageous boldness in him, which was amazing to behold. When everything in his path, everyone in his path could have literally discouraged him, deterred him from even hoping for the best, because really throughout this film, Mufasa, since he was a cub and separated from his parents here, we get to see how all of that's done. But of course, I'm not gonna tell you about it. Y'all gotta watch it and everything. Or if you have watched it, drop it in the comments. You ain't gotta give away no spoilers because probably everybody ain't seen it. But you can at least let people know, like, what your thoughts about it, how you felt about it. But I'm telling you, I was all in. I was so engaged, like literally feeling like on the edge of my seat. It was not a moment in this film that I felt like I'm getting bored. You're losing me here. Like emptiness. Y'all know, be having like empty spaces. You're like, okay, that wasn't really necessary. That scene, you could have just held that back. We didn't really need that. Those filler, I don't like filler scenes. This film did not have any of that. I felt like every moment in this film, I felt like every word in this film, like there was a purpose, a reason for it. Like it was meant for something. Like something you could just take and digest and really tear apart and think about it. Like it had me like that, like really thinking and processing everything and thinking about the word of God. Of course, that is like literally right there before me, because all I see is hope throughout this thing. All I see is faith throughout this thing, and all of the things that God tell us to be, even though we know that it could be challenging. He never said it was going to be easy, but I see all of these characteristics in Mufasa. And I just so walked away from this film encouraged, inspired, like, yes, I can do it. I literally can do it. Nothing ain't gonna stop me now. Nothing ain't gonna stop me. Y'all know how I be doing. I be all up in everything, and I just had such a good time literally with this film. Yo, like, back to Mufasa, like I said, he had a journey, and his journey did start when he was just literally a baby. And it was amazing to see how God was orchestrating all of his steps, like from the people that he met to this, like almost like this foster family, and how he came to be with them, and how he even grew to have a brother. Y'all are gonna find that very, very interesting. Like his brother here that we do meet, him and Taka, had something that bind them together from the beginning. They had a friendship that just came to be automatic. Like they instantly loved each other, cared for each other. And that kind of scared me along the way, because like in a sense this is a prequel to the original story, right? Because we met Mufasa in the very beginning from an adult. And so here we're going back to the past and get to see his life and to really see how everything came to be from starting from him. It had me scared a little bit, because I'm like, okay, you have this brother Taka, and at the beginning I loved Taka. Like he was very friendly, and he protected Mufasa. He saved Mufasa at different times. It was amazing to see that bond, that brotherhood, especially when Mufasa, it came at a time when Mufasa felt alone. I mean, he was separated from all that he ever knew. And so Taka played such a major part in his life and who he became to be, who he was destined to be. And so I was a little bit scared for Taka. I'm like, okay, Taka, I don't remember a Taka being later on in the original Lion King. So I'm like, okay, is something gonna happen to him? This is gonna be terrible. I mean, Mufasa already lost enough, and you tell me you're gonna lose Taka at some point? That's what I was kind of thinking throughout the film. But as it started to progress and different things started to happen, then we start to see where the villain came in. Okay, how this villain became to be. But overall, it was such a beautiful film. It had so many different life lessons in here. And like I said, at the end of the day, I walked away from this film that it literally don't matter how your life started, how your beginnings were, whatever mistakes that you did make or whatever, you alive and breathing. Obviously you are, because you're watching this. You have a chance right now in this moment to say, you know what? I am going to live the best life that God has created me to live. I am not going to settle for anything less than God's best. I am not going to become the very thing that I hate. I am not going to become a villain just because certain things has happened to me. I'm not going to let jealousy or envy or strife get in the way of who I'm supposed to be. And I love that about Mufasa here, because he literally was like, so many different times, especially at the beginning of his journey, referred to as a stray, which is like the lowest of the lowest in this kingdom. Like he literally was, it was not like he was set to be a king or anything like this. And he was perfectly content with this title in a sense. Like he didn't let that title define him. He was who he was, and he allowed God to develop him from the inside out. And it was never a moment that you saw Mufasa jealous or of anyone or anything around him, because Taka had his parents a great deal of his life, and that wasn't the case for Mufasa. It was so many different times and different opportunities that he had to become jealous and envy and bitter because he see his brother or see other animals in the kingdom that had different things that he didn't have, that were in place to inherit these wonderful things that he wasn't. Because he literally, like I said, became like nothing that nobody wanted, nothing that nobody cared about, because no one knew where he came from, and all of these different things. And that was such, and most people would take that as an opportunity to become bitter and angry with the world. But that wasn't the case for Mufasa. Like seriously, like the different gifts that were already inside of him, he just leaned into that and allowed that to be that guidance of hope and faith and trust for him, where he was willing to protect people who were willing to protect him. He was willing to trust even when he had every opportunity not to trust. He was willing to continue to walk in what he knew was right from the inside out. That is literally what guided him, that spirit inside of him. And it was so amazing and beautiful, because that is the life of a believer. For those of you who do take this walk with God seriously, you're in your word, you pray, this is your life. You have already determined within yourself that, yes, I'm gonna walk the walk that Christ walked. This is my everything. That is literally how we live. We walk by faith, not by sight, and we're being guided by a spirit who is God, who we can't see necessarily with our physical eyes. I mean, for most people, okay? I ain't saying it for everybody, because we all know everybody's journey, right? But for us, for most people, it literally is that way. And there's so many different times on our journey that you can feel alone, that you can feel lost, that there are so many different things or people that you lose along the way. And yet, we have to lean into him. We have to lean into everything Christ is and everything that he died for us to have, to continue to hope and to trust him at the end of the day. And that was that's what Mufasa reminded me of. And I was just like, wow, which brought me to tears, like seriously, y'all. But it did encourage me that we do have to be strong, that along our journey, God will provide, whether it is a human being that he placed there, or a thing, an animal, circumstances, whatever he chooses to use. We have to know that he does live inside of us. And there was so many different moments in this film that it was referred to such and such when they felt a loss. that one lives inside of you. And all I can think about is Jesus, because Jesus gave his life for all of us a long time ago, way before we were here, and yet he lives inside of us. So we don't have to feel like far away from him, or feel like he's not there, he's not around, he's not listening, he abandoned us, or what is going on, God, why? We don't have to feel that at all, but just lean within, because that's his home, where we are, inside of us. And so yeah, y'all, I know I'm 15 minutes in, but I said forget all of that, okay? I'm doing my reviews like this going forward, okay? I am taking y'all on a journey, not just within the story here, the fictional tale, but tying that to the walk, the calling, the chosen people that we are, okay? So I know some of y'all probably don't have the best attention spans, but for those of you who are here to dig a little bit deeper, who are here to be encouraged, who are here to, you know, lean in a little bit more, a little bit closer, right? You're in the right place, okay? I got you covered in Jesus, all right? But before I get out, once again, this film is titled MUFASA The Lion King. You guys should find it streaming on Disney Plus. But before I leave y'all for the day, let's go ahead and get into the scripture, okay? And y'all should have seen it coming. It showed okay to me while I was watching the film. So we're coming out of Proverbs 28 verse 25. Oh no, okay, Proverbs 28 verse 1. 28 verse 1, I got you. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Please remember to leave y'all thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because y'all know I love hearing from y'all. And until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.